everybody, and welcome into our first of 6 election forums here on TV 47 and Coosa Valley Magazine. I'm Jim Green, as you probably know by now if you're around here at 7 o'clock on Sunday nights. And we will start with our City Council forums tonight. We will go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 by the districts. And then in our final program, we will have the candidates for mayor of Sylacauga come in and talk to you about the issues that you have talked to us about. We're taking our material from comments that have been made in a variety of sources. Some of it's talk from the street. Some of it is questions that have been put to me about specific areas. And some of it comes from social media. And we're very glad to have those people, particularly the people involved in the group, people concerned about Sylacauga and South Talladega County. Those guys are really interested in the future of their city, and we appreciate the items that have been posed there. Not particularly any questions that anybody threw our way, just the subjects of the discussions. Of course, before we get into that tonight, into our forum, we do want to take a minute or two to send along our prayers and the prayers of everybody, I'm sure, within the sound of my voice, for those families down in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, who lost members of their families today, the fine policemen who were gunned down senselessly on the streets of Baton Rouge. And we're very much with you folks. I don't know if anybody down that way gets a shot at our program, but if you are, we're thinking about you and we are praying for you. And we certainly hope that this reign of terror that's going on in our country is over sometime soon. Now, a little bit about the format of our program tonight. We are going to give Mr. Carden and Mr. Davenport, who will be our guests tonight, we're going to give them the opportunity to make a statement at the outset. Then we will ask them a series of questions. So if we're ready to go here on the set, we will get some commercials out of the way, and as soon as we do that, we'll be back and get our political forum, our first political forum for election 2016 underway right after this. The gift you've been looking for is waiting at Carden's Gift Cottage on West Fort Williams. Our friendly staff will show you cool raincoats and all kinds of carry bags, neat signs and heavenly scents, colorful lamps and fun beds for the kids, custom car tags and monograms and just about everything. Plus, new items show up all the time. We'll even wrap it for you too. Heck, we'll even rent you a U-Haul trailer or a truck to get it all home. All this, and we make keys too at Carden's in Sylacauga. Some things change and some things don't. From the beginning, Wright Tire and Service has been all about quality products and first-class service. From great tires at a super price to the expert car service that you want for your family. Oil changes, front-end alignment, brake work, and much more. You can count on our experienced professionals to give you quality work at a fair price. Tires and a whole lot more at Wright Tire and Service on West Fort Williams, next to Robo Motors.
Camping World would like to introduce you to a whole new world. Say hello to a fresh day. Step out to adventure. Explore and discover an amazing world. Be in arm's reach of wonderful. Camping World, the #1 RV and camping expert, wants you to say hello to a whole new world.
Say hello to great deals during the RV sales event. Visit your local Camping World today.
Robo Motors, the name folks around here have counted on since 1986 for quality pre-owned vehicles. At Robo Motors, we can take care of everything, even the loan approval, right here on our lot. From absolute luxury to the tops and practicality, you'll find your ride at Robo. See Dick Wright today for the car or truck you've been looking for. And we can also take care of your storage needs at our many warehouses on Highway 280. Robo Motors, next to Wright Tire Service.
Sylacauga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
Typical Sunday night on Coosa Valley Magazine. Everything electronic that can go wrong is trying to go wrong, and our producer Eric Freeman in there doing yeoman-like work to keep us all together. And folks, we're glad to have you along. As I said, we will be doing, this is our first, each Sunday night for the 6 weeks beginning tonight. We will have a political forum here on Coosa Valley Magazine for Sylacauga to talk with the candidates for the various offices. Now, so far in District 5, we have had 2 folks qualify. There is a couple of days of qualifying left, and we did put out the word that we would welcome anyone who was going to seek that office. We did put out that word, and of course my 2 gentlemen who have qualified are here with us. Now, at the outset, I need to tell you, I know both of these guys. I consider them friends, and so consequently, if you think I'm soft pedaling, don't think so, because these are the same questions in general that we will be asking every candidate who comes through our door. So let's get this thing started. Mr. Carden, we have kind of done a coin toss here. Well, actually what we did is went alphabetically by first names. We could have gone alphabetically by last names, but it still would have worked out the same way. But we went alphabetically since we went in reverse order for our districts. We thought we would go in alphabetical order for our questions tonight. You get to go first, Billy, to talk about anything you'd like to talk about, and you have 5 minutes or so to do that.
Well, I appreciate the invitation to come on and tell my story if I've got a little bit of a story, but I ran for council, 4 years ago, and I guess at that time I thought I could make a difference in the way things were being done. And I thought with the 5 new councilmen that we had that we would do something, and a mayor that had 20 years experience, that we could get some things accomplished. But things don't always work out like you want it to, and things happen that you don't always expect. But I can't say that I've enjoyed the total 4 years that I've been in it, but there's some aspects that I have. And we hadn't done some of the things that I would have liked to have seen done. And naturally, when people say you hadn't done anything, we hadn't paved any roads, so that's the first thing that the public sees. If you don't do roads, then you haven't done anything. And I'll admit that is one of the shortcomings that we hadn't been able to do, but it goes back to if you don't have money to put gas in the truck, it don't move. And that's one of the things that everybody wants to do. Would I like to see a complex? Yeah, I would. But right now, at this time, we don't have the money, and that's just part of wishes that you can't accomplish. But we have done a few things, and we got left with over a $400,000 debt in the hole when we took over this council. And that put us automatically behind, I think. And it took us a while to crawl out of it, But we've done some things that people don't always see, You buy cars, you buy fire trucks, stuff breaks down, it has to be replaced, and that's just part of it. You don't have no other choice but to replace it. And that's one of the shortcomings that if you don't have the money, it don't get done. And talk about change. You like to change stuff, but when it comes time to push that button, I got one vote. And sometimes it changes things, and sometimes it don't. And I can say that I feel like that every time I push that button that I've done what I thought was best for this town. And if I'm reelected, that's what I will do. And if I'm not reelected and Mr. Davenport gets it, then I'll help him with any way I can. But basically, I think the city is not in real sound shape, but we're not as bad as people think we are, but we do have some problems, and I'd like to hopefully be around for 4 more years to see if we might could correct some of them.
Okay, Billy, thank you very much. And Dallas Davenport, your turn, 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Well, I want to represent the people in District 5 in Sylacauga as city councilman. I've been in law enforcement, been a police officer here in town, served the people of Talladega County and Sylacauga for over 30 years as serving and protect. The Lord's really blessed me. I'm going to continue doing that as a councilman. I feel like I can do a good job as a councilman. Since I retired, this will be my full-time job. It's not a part-time job. It's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of time and hard work, and I'm willing to put a lot of hard work in it.
Okay, short statement from Mr. Davenport, but he said what he wanted to say. And let me just give you an idea of what we'll be talking about when we come back after our break. Our first question will be, as a candidate, are you a member of any group that represents a special interest? And that will be our question when we come back right after this message.
The gift you've been looking for is waiting at Carden's Gift Cottage on West Fort Williams. Our friendly staff will show you cool raincoats and all kinds of carry bags, neat signs and heavenly scents, colorful lamps and fun beds for the kids, custom car tags and monograms and just about everything. Plus, new items show up all the time. We'll even wrap it for you too. Heck, we'll even rent you a U-Haul trailer or truck to get it all home. All this, and we make keys too at Carden's in Sylacauga. Some things change and some things don't. From the beginning, Wright Tire and Service has been all about quality products and first-class service. From great tires at a super price to the expert car service that you want for your family. Oil changes, front-end alignment, brake work, and much more. You can count on our experienced professionals to give you quality work at a fair price. Tires and a whole lot more at Wright Tire and Service on West Fort Williams, next to Robo Motors.
Camping World would like to introduce you to a whole new world. Say hello to a fresh day. Step out to adventure. Explore and discover an amazing world. Be in arm's reach of wonderful. Camping World, the #1 RV and camping expert, wants you to say hello to a whole new world.
Say hello to great deals during the RV sales event. Visit your local Camping World today.
Robo Motors, the name folks around here have counted on since 1986 for quality pre-owned vehicles. At Robo Motors, we can take care of everything, even the loan approval, right here on our lot. From absolute luxury to the tops in practicality, you'll find your ride at Robo. See Dick Wright today for the car or truck you've been looking for. And we can also take care of your storage needs at our many warehouses on Highway 280. Robo Motors, next to Wright Tire Service.
Sylacauga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
And welcome back into our political forum for 2016. The election is in August, and of course, any necessary runoffs, and it's looking like that may be necessary in some of the districts. Quite a few folks running in some of the districts in Sylacauga. And the mayor's race, man, it looks like it's going to look like a meeting of a quilting society before it's all over with so many people in there trying to put the pieces together. We are glad to have you along with us. I'm glad to have these two fellas for my first one. I feel real comfortable with these guys. I don't know how comfortable they're feeling with me, but we're going to have a good time before it's all said and done. And as I mentioned, we will be alternating who gets the question first. And this first question that we have is for Dallas Davenport. As a candidate, are you a member of any group that represents a special interest?
No, sir.
No special interest whatsoever?
No, sir.
Okay. And Billy, I will pose the same question to you.
No, and I don't accept any contributions from people to help pay for this campaign.
Okay.
I'm going to pay for it myself, and I'm not going to be obligated to anybody or any favors.
And Billy, this is a follow-up on that same question. Do you see that as an issue in this campaign? Are there people working who are outside of our town that are putting input and maybe money into the campaigns this year?
Well, I ain't going to say yeah because I don't know, but I hadn't heard anybody say that they had received any money from any entity, but I'm sure that there are probably some people accepting contributions, and that's up to them to do what they feel like they necessary to do, but I've not heard anybody, and I don't intend to accept any. So.
Well, I think what you're doing, and Dallas, what about you? Are you going to accept any contributions?
No, sir, I haven't. I've had 2 or 3 offers, but I'm running a low budget campaign. I'm just no, sir.
I asked Billy what he was going to do for his campaign. He said, "You see it in front of the store." So apparently, both of you guys are going to run on the people you know and on the work you've done in the community in the past.
Well, my signs, people are probably going to ask. When I run for sheriff, I went and pulled all my signs up and kept them. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I put Dallas Davenport, and I just painted out sheriff. And that's that's what I don't plan to spend a lot of money.
And not spending a lot of money doesn't means that you don't owe a lot of money. Therefore, you're not going to be beholden to anyone. That is a question that I am hearing asked quite a bit around town. Is somebody funding some of the campaigns? And going back to the special interest question, I also hear, and if either one of you gentlemen care to expand on this, I also hear that there are people out there that are trying to put together coalitions of people seeking to run as a group. Have you heard of any of that?
I've heard that, but there again, I don't have any firsthand information if that's true. When somebody says something, everything starts ballooning out and gets real big within about 3 days in a small town like this. But as far as anybody saying I'm part of a coalition or anything that, to get one candidate elected, I haven't heard that. But, whether that's true or not, I have no idea.
Dallas, what about you?
No, so I've heard it now. Whether it's true or not, I really don't know.
Okay, well, it is making the rounds, but I wonder, and I've been covering elections in Sylacauga. Of course, there's some holes in the years that I was gone from here, but I've been covering elections around here since the 60s, and there's always rumors. And the more you are involved in an election, the more you will hear rumors. All right, let's go on to our next question, and this one involves an issue that I hear talked about a good bit in the coffee shops. I also hear it and I see it on on the internet, social media. And let's see, is this one? This one goes to Billy first. Are you in favor of raising sales taxes or other taxes to build a sports complex?
No. I would love to see one, like I said. I would love to see one made, but as far as raising tax for, especially where I heard that they were wanting to put it, no, I can't wouldn't vote for that.
Okay. What about you, Dallas?
No, sir, not at all. I feel like raising taxes hurts in the long run. It would hurt us more than it would help us. I meant to say a while ago, I'm going to use good common sense. I do it in my job, I do it in my life. It's just not good common sense to borrow a great big bundle, millions and millions of dollars. It's just not, it hurts you more than it helps you.
Do either of you, and let's go back to Dallas as we go on expanding this question, do you see that there might be something out there that would necessitate us raising taxes?
I don't foresee it, but anything. But I would not raise taxes unless it was the will of the people.
Okay.
We work for the people. It's not about Dallas Davenport. It's not about Billy Carden or Jimmy Green. It's the people. That's who you report to. Now, if the people wanted it, I would. But as far as just elected officials, I want this and I want that, and we raise no, sir.
Okay, Billy.
I don't like to say never, but as far as my understanding and talking to some people that does bond issues and has looked at our financial situation, they tell me that if we pave roads, we don't have no other choice except to raise taxes. And to me, taxes is one of the evil of government. You like I said, you don't run the truck unless you put gas in it, and you got gas comes from taxes. And I ain't gonna say I wouldn't vote for road construction or infrastructure to raise the taxes, because that's one of the necessary evils of it. And that's just, that'd be one of the honest reasons that I would want to raise taxes.
Do you, and I'll go back to you this time as we continue talking about this same question, do you think, as you look around, you've been in City Hall, you've worked in City Hall, do you see some areas where we might be able to gain some more money by maybe trimming the budget in City Hall some?
Well, I'm sure there would be some places, if you look real close and put it on the microscope, that you could find places to cut money. City Hall, just like every other thing, there's waste there. I don't care how you look at it. There's waste in my business, waste in my household, waste in yours and most everybody else's. You got some that you just have to sit down and look at it and see if it's possible to cut it, And I don't, kind of like when they went back 4 years ago when they gave the raise to all the city employees, people said, why don't you cut them? Well, I said, that ain't going to be one of my options, because I've had my pay cut at a job before, and it's not a good feeling for that to happen to you. So, but, and you don't want to see anybody lose their job. But if it comes down to it and you don't have the money, then, you do what you have to do to make it operate and operate efficiently.
Same question to you, Dallas. Do you see anything in City Hall that could be trimmed some?
It might could. What I would like for us to do is when we get a good group of people and let's sit down and make a plan. Look at it. I can't tell you because, I'm not into the budget. I don't know. I've just been an employee there for a long time. But we get some people, get the people that's elected, we get down and look at the budget and using good common sense. I'm sure there's ways that we could do that. Put a plan together. Let the people know what the plan is. Put your goals out. Like I said a while ago, Jim, we work for the people. Yes, I believe it. Maybe, but I'm not going to make that decision. We need to make that decision as a group.
Okay. Let me move to another area. Eric, are you wanting me to take a break, or you want me to go on for a little? Okay, we're going to go one more, and then we'll get a break in. I'm going to get off of this for just a second. I told y'all that I had some questions prepared, and one that I did not list, and it's more to bring it to your attention than it is a question. Back in 2008, 2009, Auburn University came in here and did a wonderful study. I wonder if either one of you have seen those studies, or actually they came out with 3 different reports from that study. I don't know if you've read those or not.
I haven't myself. I guess that's one of the faults. It's being lazy to a little bit that I didn't get a chance to read it. But just in talking to people, they say there were some real good points in there that we need to do. And, you know, there again, we need, like he said, sit down and make a plan to improve the city.
Dallas?
Yes, sir. Well, I think wasn't the Buford plan part of it?
Well, now what what I have read is they made recommendations to the city how we could get past the loss of the industry that we had and directions that we might go in. For me, I've got to admit, I've only read 2 of them.
Yes, sir.
And I can't tell you that I've read them in depth and made a bunch of notes, but I have read them, and I'm still going to work through that 3rd one. And I will say this: I really think that maybe we, maybe as part of an orientation for councilmen, they ought to be made aware of these things and copies put in their hands. And I think I had one of our community leaders, we were having a discussion about the future of the town. And this friend dropped them in my lap and says, take a look at that. And I read it, and and of course, you know, I'm in making sure that I'm completely honest here. Auburn is not my favorite school. I went to the other place. But I'm going to tell you, when you need something done on that kind of level, it's hard to beat Auburn University. And they did a superb job. They had a group of graduate students approach it from three slightly different directions. And it's excellent material, and I think maybe if they've got them available at City Hall, it'd be good reading for everybody. And in all honesty, they look thick, but they're only on one side of the sheet, so it's not nearly as thick as it looks. You know, they didn't. It would have looked thinner, but there'd been more to it if they'd put it on both sides of the paper. But I really think they're excellent studies, and I think we need to do a better job, I think, of bringing everything we can to bear. And I will let y'all, if either one of you has a comment on that, or both of you have a comment on what I had to say.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I agree. The Auburn study, it's good. Those, and if we could, I hadn't seen it, I don't know, but I believe, yes, sir, we need to look into it and take in consideration what it's saying to see if it is feasible for us.
Any time anybody wants to help you, you need to take a listen to it and see what they got, because somebody has 2 ideas is better than one, and we always need to look at what we got and what we can do to improve everything we got, and most especially the city, because we got some problems here, and we need all the help we can to get them solved.
Thank y'all. Well, it's time for us to go to a break, and if you can stand being away from 3 handsome men on your television on a Sunday night, we'll come back and brighten up your evenings more right after this.
I don't have any money.
Hey, Sylacauga! I'm Dr. Gina, and I want you to join me live every weeknight, Monday through Friday, right here on Channel 47 on the world's first social television show. And it's going to be all about you, whether it's presidential politics or Deflategate. If it's trending, we're going to be talking about it. I want you to join me live every Monday through Friday on Channel 47. Don't miss it. America Trends with Dr. Gina, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. right here on Channel 47. See you then.
Hey y'all, Jim Green from TV47. You can now catch us on the internet. We're streaming live at TV47.tv. All of our great programming, whether it's Daybreak with Jimmy Dale, Matt Coulter, and Around the Track with Matt, or I'll be on with Coosa Valley Magazine and a whole lot more too, right here at TV47, now TV47.tv on the internet. Whatever device, you can watch us right there at TV47.tv.
Hey Birmingham, it's your favorite girlfriend, Ebony Steele, back in my hometown. My show, Coffee with America, is now on WOIL TV 47 4 days a week. Catch me and Sasha Rianda Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 8 a.m. You can also see us Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. We're bringing you the latest in lifestyle, food, entertainment, you name it. We'll see you soon.
About halfway into our first political forum, and I'm having fun. I get to ask all the questions, so that makes it work out pretty good for me. Two guests who have a lot of the answers too, and I'm glad to have Dallas Davenport, Billy Carden along with me tonight. Further clarification, as I said earlier, I know both these guys, consider them both friends. Billy and I do a little bit of business together, and but I believe in full disclosure, so there I fully disclosed all of that. Now, one of the issues that has come up recently, the city of Talladega has gotten their second city manager. Their first city manager was hired away by Pell City. Not too many weeks ago, I interviewed the young man from Talladega, and my friend John Hall, who's in the Peanut Gallery again tonight, was here, and he was like I was. He was blown away by the caliber of the young man. Now, there is discussion out there. I know of at least one group of business people here in town who are very interested in seeing us go to a city manager approach to government. That would mean the mayor would largely become a figurehead. The city manager would run the operations of the city, and of course, serving as his board of directors. If you want to relate it to a business approach, serving as his board of directors, who would make the who have to make the final decisions, would be the city council. It would be expensive, and my research has shown it would be a pretty expensive proposition to do. It would require the mayor take a sizable cut in pay, but again, his duties would be reduced to largely figurehead and kissing babies, I guess. And of course, I don't know if we want Doug kissing too many babies if he goes back in. Well, I better not say anything about the mayor's race. We'll get around to that when we get around to it. We got a nice group of folks running for mayors, and we'll get around to that when we get around to it. We'll pose the same question to them. And let's see, this one I think goes to Mr. Davenport. Dallas, are you in favor of hiring a city manager to oversee operations of the city?
I really don't know at this time. I mean, it has its pros and cons. I don't want to sound like somebody else, but I would want to study it out. I feel like that we get the right people in there, we can do the job. Like you said, it's a very, very expensive position. And would we have the right to let them go if they wasn't doing right? You know, there's a lot of pros and cons. As far as me to just say, yes, I won't, or no, I consider looking into it, but I just, at this time, I don't know. I mean.
Okay.
Well, basically, that's kind of my feeling. I know some of your larger cities, Dallas and I think Phoenix, are city managers, and it would be something that we could, if, the group got together and said, let's take a look at it and go into some kind of depth and see how other cities our size, how it operates, and how well it's, or how proficient it is. in a smaller town, and I assume that it's okay in Dallas and Phoenix, and I think maybe Nashville is. I'm not sure, but that's something we could look at. But there again, to have somebody qualified to do it, you're going to cost you some money to do it, and that would be something that maybe the public need to vote on if you're going to do it.
Well, I can tell you that the cost of just the city manager's salary is probably going to run $100,000 to $125,000 a year.
I figured that out.
Okay, maybe more. I'm just I know what, and I was told in confidence what the city manager in Talladega is making, and I know that his predecessor was making more money than that. This was his first. This is Patrick Bryant's first job, the city manager of Talladega, and I'm gonna tell you, if we get another one like him, I'd be all in favor of it. But the problem may be with our city in the financial straits that it appears to be in right now is you are probably looking with the benefit package, with a car, and you're going to want your city manager to have a car, or you're going to give him a car allowance, one or the other. The cost of additional personnel. Talladega, for example, has the provision for an assistant city manager, a job they are currently not filling. But as you can see, it's quickly going to build up to $200,000 and $250,000, which, again, the people who are proponents of this, I may be a little high. I might be $500 high, but and that's on the high end. But the proponents are going to say, no, it's not going to cost that much. But I really think we have to look at this realistically.
That's right. And
if we find somebody good, he's going to want raises, or we're going to lose him to somebody else. So if it's not $250 right off the top, it's going to be there before too long.
That's right.
And I think maybe that is going to be the thing that maybe slows everybody down as they look at that. So, moving on beyond the job of city manager, and you guys say you want to see the stuff, and I agree with that. I want to see it too. The group who is in favor of a city manager has invited me to take a look at their material. I just haven't had the opportunity yet, and I want to do that. If this is something that would possibly help, I think it'd be a great thing. I do like one thing. You do the hiring and firing. City council does the hiring and firing. And he has certain things he has to do. For example, Patrick Bryant was telling us that a part of his job is to have the budget for the next year to the council in August. Mm-hmm. And man, I know we're operating under a budget now that was just approved. And actually was just submitted to you guys, Billy, after the first of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And when you've got, when you have all those baby kissing and other tasks that you might have to do there's the mayor has a lot to do.
Yeah.
And so, consequently, I wonder that's going to be something worth looking into. Now, let's go on to our next question. We, in the past few years, as City Hall as an example, there have been some problems down at the museum, which is a building that Sylacauga also owns. And here, the Board of Education, I don't know if we actually, in essence, we own those buildings. Somebody's got to be ultimately responsible for repair and so forth on those buildings and for work on those buildings, although they get a lot of their own grants and so forth. What do you see as and I know paving and striping is going to get mentioned here, and let's say, who am I supposed to go to? It's Billy this time. What do you see as the major infrastructure needs for our city in the next 4 years?
Well, most definitely roads, and somebody said, which one would you pave? And I said, well, let's take this map and throw a dart at it, and whichever one it is, start there, But, we definitely need some roads paved, no doubt. Mm-hmm. To me, that would be the first thing on my list, and I told them 3 years ago, I said, if we're going to pave roads, let's do what we got to do now. and instead of waiting, but I guess Doug and Rocky decided that we didn't have the money to do it with and didn't want to borrow it, but if you don't have it, you got to borrow it. But yeah, roads is, to me, the priority, I think, because my street I live on, it's in bad shape.
The walnut behind the hospital is an embarrassment, and of course that area is so heavily traveled by trucks delivering to the hospital, and maybe what we need to do there is really look at putting in some stronger pavement or something and getting some more life out of it. All of these intersections where we have the 18-wheelers stopping and going a lot. I think Norton down there about 10th or 11th, whatever that is, that goes through the middle of Noble Park. We're there where you come past the old Avondale Mills and stop it there. That is a rough spot. All right, Dallas, what about you? What about infrastructure?
Yes, and that's going to be one of our main things, but, we have got to get together and get a plan. They might be grants out there. We need to look at all options. I don't know it all, but as a group, we can get together, look at all options, and see if we can get a grant, what we can do. Definitely, we need to pave roads. Jim, if somebody is coming to Sylacauga looking for a place to live, the things that they're going to look for in a place, a town, is the schools, what kind of schools we got. Is the city clean? What kind of roads? What kind of hospital? What's the crime? We've got some wonderful schools and a very good hospital, but I love Sylacauga. We've got a lot, but it's not, we're the best around here. We're still the best. But getting back to the road, yes, it needs, and I agree, man, 4th Street is pitiful. And it can be done, and we're going to have to do it.
There are a lot of areas, and of course, let me throw a proposition out to you guys. Wouldn't it be nice to have a city employee? Now, my understanding right now is the maintenance and upkeep of the buildings is the responsibility of the city clerk, who does not have, as good as Patricia is, she does not have an engineering degree. Wouldn't it be nice to have someone who is looking to the upkeep of our buildings as part of their job, maybe conducting a survey of those buildings at least twice a year and catching something? I think a place that you both will be very familiar with, back in the early 80s, I had a short-term job with the city of Sylacauga working on a project. And our office was located downstairs next to the police department. And back then, when we would get a rain, it would leak down there then. So the problem that we just spent millions of dollars on, that we had to redo the facade of the building to prevent rain from getting down and all that other stuff, that problem has been there probably since the 70s. Wasn't that complex built in the 70s?
72.
Almost from the inception. So if we had and maybe that's something we need to take a hard look at. Maybe we need to have someone who is doing that. And again, that's something I hear discussed out there, guys. That's something I hear discussed. Billy, you want to?
Yeah, when they said, City Hall flooding, we're going to have to do something about it. And I asked Trish, I said, whose responsibility was this to take care of this building? And she said, city clerk. And I said, well, I know you hadn't been in here since the building was built, but, it should have never got to this point, 40 years down the road before you done anything to correct it. I said, I hope that you or whoever's in charge of this building would put somebody in charge to make sure that this don't happen 20 years down the road. And, I think Mike Whetstone, he's been doing a lot of work down there, and I think he's doing a great job with that. And hopefully, if he stays on, or like you said, get an engineer in place to take care of all our city buildings.
Maybe it should be a part of the city engineer's job, and of course I think that's Eddie's position, or at least part of his position, and maybe what we need to Eddie's going to have to quit one of these days, because I know how old he is.
He's getting like me and you, and he's getting a little age on him.
Now I got a year on him, but I'm getting along of tooth too. So maybe when we look at hiring somebody, maybe we need to go back and look at that again. Dallas, any comment on? I want to give you equal time here.
No, sir. I agree with that. And I'm not going to say anything negative against Trish. She's got a lot on her plate. If we had somebody else to do that job, maybe I'm not making excuses, but I agree totally. You can't put everything on one person.
That's exactly right. Okay, guys, we need to take a break. We will be back with more of our first political forum for election season 2016 right after this.
The gift you've been looking for is waiting at Carden's Gift Cottage on West Fort Williams. Our friendly staff will show you cool raincoats and all kinds of carry bags, neat signs and heavenly scents, colorful lamps and fun beds for the kids, custom car tags and monograms and just about everything. Plus, new items show up all the time. We'll even wrap it for you too. Heck, we'll even rent you a U-Haul trailer or a truck to get it all home. All this, and we make keys too at Carden's in Sylacauga. Some things change and some things don't. From the beginning, Wright Tire and Service has been all about quality products and first-class service. From great tires at a super price to the expert car service that you want for your family. Oil changes, front-end alignment, brake work, and much more. You can count on our experienced professionals to give you quality work at a fair price. Tires and a whole lot more at Wright Tire and Service on West Fort Williams, next to Robo Motors.
Camping World would like to introduce you to a whole new world. Say hello to a fresh day. Step out to adventure. Explore and discover an amazing world. Be in arm's reach of wonderful. Camping World, the #1 RV and camping expert, wants you to say hello to a whole new world.
Say hello to great deals during the RV sales event. Visit your local Camping World today.
Robo Motors, the name folks around here have counted on since 1986 for quality pre-owned vehicles. At Robo Motors, we can take care of everything, even the loan approval, right here on our lot. From absolute luxury to the tops in practicality, you'll find your ride at Robo. See Dick Wright today for the car or truck you've been looking for. And we can also take care of your storage needs at our many warehouses on Highway 280. Robo Motors, next to Wright Tire Service.
Sylacauga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
I don't know about y'all, but I am having fun with these two gentlemen tonight. I got a couple of really good guys in here with me, our candidates for District 5 Sylacauga City Council, and I am very, very pleased to be here with these gentlemen. Dallas Davenport, the guy that blew our dress code, and Billy Carden, who's dressed appropriately. No, Dallas, this is such a laid-back town. I thought about wearing a tie when I first started doing this. I said, I'm not going to wear a tie. Not in Sylacauga, Alabama. Bankers don't even wear ties anymore. Folks, a lot of folks probably don't even remember that. All right, back to our questions, and let me see who we are to go to this time. This one would be for Billy. Billy, there is, I hear this talked about a lot, particularly at the coffee clatches around town, but it's a subject that a lot of people are talking about. Are we getting our money's worth? I notice we're spending a lot of money out there at the airport. Are we getting our money's worth out of the airport?
Well, that's kind of a tough question to answer because, you know, I in all honesty, I hadn't been out there a whole lot to see and haven't had a whole lot of feedback on what's going on out there. You know, a couple of years ago, they wanted to do away with the board and go to an authority, which I voted against it. And I have my reasons for voting against it. But I think we need to hire an airport manager and let the city pay for everything like we do in most of now. Let the city pay for it, and any benefits we reap to get back, and pay the manager and let him hire a mechanic or whatever needs to be done, you know. But, you know, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but that's just my thought, you know, because you hear that it's a fun airport or not for business, but, you know, we do have business flights come in, and you know, I think
Nick Saban was in not too long ago.
Come in.
I think it's a necessary thing that we have, and if it's our buildings and our property, you got to take care of it. You know, whatever you have to do. And like I said, sometimes the authority says that eventually they'll be self-supporting. You know, but you know we're not there yet, and we still sticking money out there. You know, just recently we had when Ray Lett passed away, his estate wanted their money out of the gas that was in the ground, so we come up $30,000 or so to buy that back, and that's one of the expenses that wasn't in the budget. You know, so. But yeah, I would like to see an airport manager.
Okay, Dallas.
Well, you know, I live there, and there's a lot of traffic. I've never gotten into the workings of it. I don't think we should fund it and not get anything in return. Really do. They're out there now clearing more ground to put more. It can be a money-making thing. Sylacauga needs it. Because in time, if we get bigger companies, in, most of your big planes is companies coming in. And that's a good plus for Sylacauga for airport access.
Well, I know in the Kimberly-Clark days, we had a lot of flights going in and out of there. The executives would fly to Neenah, Wisconsin, and to other locations, other mills. But of course, that's not true anymore. Not to the extent it once was.
Yes, it's just about Omni, which is one of the biggest companies in the world. They've got looks like a Delta comes in out there a lot.
Well, you're out there where you see them.
Yes, sir.
You live out close to the airport, so you see them come and go.
Yes, sir. And I don't know about Lifesaver, but, you know, it's there 24 hours a day.
Thank goodness it is.
That's right. But, you know, it's active. But far as I think the city should get something off of it. I'm not in the workings enough to say yay or nay. I would have to look at it.
Well, one of the great attractions of that airport is that Osprey that the Marine Reserve flies in from time to time.
Oh, yes, sir.
Where the blades go up like a helicopter and come back down for a regular flight. I mean, that's one of those things that we got to. If I ever catch them out there, I'm going to see if they'll let me take my camera up and go with them one time. Of course, that'll be when the thing crashes, but I understand those things are inherently unstable, but what a fascinating aircraft that is. All right, and this one would go to Dallas. We have changed the way we do animal control and sheltering in Sylacauga. The city has now taken over the animal shelter, and with still having the responsibility for animal control in town. We had recently a gentleman who thought he was going to have to shoot some dogs because they approached him. I've actually had one to stand and stare at me, and that bothers me when I see that. I love animals. I'm a big fan of animals, but I wonder if we're not We're not looking for more trouble now. Who did I go to last time? It's Dallas's. Okay, that's right. It's Dallas's turn. What do you think about, are we doing all we can animal control, animal sheltering wise? Do we need to do something else?
As far as I know, Jim, I've been in law enforcement. I know Michelle's doing a good job. People, the feedback that I'm getting since the city has taken it over, that it's run a lot better. You know, I personally don't. They say they go in there, it don't smell as bad. It's I've gotten some good comments off of it. We definitely need it.
Okay, Billy.
Well, I'm like Dallas. You know, I've been out there a couple of times since the city took it back over, and it is, you don't have that smell, and that's a good thing, because most people, when they walk in they adopt an animal, they don't want to be slapped in the face with an odor that you can't, stay there long enough to sign the papers for them. But I go back to something at the airport and a manager. Personally, I would like to see the county take over the animal control and have one man over the county, and then each town have a director that would oversee the shelter in each town and let all the cities pay for it, kind of like they do the jail thing, But that would be my thought. But I think we do have a little bit of improvement out there. And like I said, it's costing us some money, because every time I get that bill at the end of the month, looking at it, it's some money on there. And hopefully we doing what we need to do to take care of the babies, because that's what they are, the babies.
I know.
I want to see them. I'd like to see them all adopted out and taken care of, but I know that's not always going to be possible. But I'd like to see as many as we can be put out.
Well, that is I know Pell City took this approach, and Sylacauga now has taken the approach of a city run animal shelter, and I had my doubts, because I became involved in animal shelters when I got a call from Mayor Gene Stewart one day after they had found the dead puppies frozen to death out at the old dog pound, and said, Jim, there's two groups squabbling. See what you can't do about getting those two groups together. Well, with a lot of help from some good people, Gene Pinkerton and Joe Hagan and some other folks, we were able to get an animal shelter together. But we still got a ways to go. If we're not adopting out every adoptable animal, I feel like maybe we're not. Somebody's missing out on a great opportunity to have a wonderful pet.
And you need all the volunteers you can get, but in a town as small as Sylacauga, you're not going to have the volunteers like you do in Birmingham or maybe Shelby County. But that would be the nice thing if we had more volunteers to go out there and help with it and help clean it up. And to me, I think we need to go out and ask these industries around here for donations to help with it. Most of them would be willing, I think, to give a little bit of money to help control it.
Dallas?
Well, it could be better, but we're doing better than what it was.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, you know what? We have gotten through our first political forum. Was it a pleasant experience for you guys?
Yes,
it was.
Better than you thought it was going to be, and it was. It was. We had a pleasant experience tonight with my two friends. It was a good way for me to start off too. And I hope you will join us for the remaining political forums. As I told you, we will do 4 the next week, then 3, 2, 1, and the Sunday night before the election, we will have the mayoral candidates. I've talked to Mayor Murphy, and he assured me that he will be here. I know that former Mayor Heigl will be part of it, and I think that the rest of these mayoral candidates will be there as well, and certainly hope that all of our candidates for council will come in as well. Again, I thank you very much for your comments. I thank you very much for providing the questions, and we will see you for round 2 of the political forums next Sunday night right here.